If you use an accounts package that is linked with Current RMS, currently we have Xero, QuickBooks Online, Sage Business Cloud, and MYOB. Getting these linked up to Current RMS is easy. In a previous video, we've covered how to import your customers and suppliers or vendors from your accounts package. In this video, we're going to cover the other key areas that are needed to set up the integration. Whilst these settings are very similar across all of the accounts integrations we provide, we're going to focus on QuickBooks Online in this particular video. So if I click into QuickBooks Online, if you haven't already, it will ask you to log in to your accounts package, and from there, it will be connected up like this. So the first section that we're going to take a look at here is revenue group mappings. So this is where you can push revenue streams in Current RMS to nominal codes in your accounts package, or in QuickBooks Online, they call them products and services. So the best place to start with this is to decide, first of all, how do you want to categorize revenue? And once you've decided that, you will need to set up those nominal codes or those products and services in your accounts package itself. So in QuickBooks, you can go down to sales and then products and services and set up your different revenue categorizations within here. Once you have set those up in your account software itself, what we need to do is go ahead and create those categorizations in Current RMS. So we call them revenue groups, and we already have 5 listed revenue groups here, but let's just say we want to customize them. We can do that by going to System Setup. We can scroll down to Revenue Groups, which is under Static Data here. And this is where we can edit them to just by using the arrow. So we can click on this and select edit. So let's just say that I want to call one of my categorizations dry rentals. And then perhaps I want to also create a new revenue categorization for production revenue, let's just say. Okay, so once you are happy with these revenue categorizations in Current RMS, let's go ahead and link them up using the accounts integration. So if we go into System Setup, and into integrations, we can then click back into the accounts package that we are using. And in the revenue group mappings, you'll notice that dry rental and production revenue are now here. And what we have are the categorizations on the left, QuickBooks products or services on the right, or these would be nominal codes in Xero, for example. So perhaps our dry rental just goes into a general rental revenue account. So if I search for that, it will find it in QuickBooks and we can then link that up. However, our production revenue may go to a separate pot of money. So let's just say that's called production revenue. And then perhaps our sales revenue goes into a sales account, let's just say. So you can set these up and categorize them however you want to. It is worth noting that once you have done this, if we go ahead and update this, what we may need to do is go ahead and recategorize our revenue group categorizations against our products. So if we go to resources and products here, in my E3 loudspeaker, let's just say that we would never do a dry rental of this. We would only rent this as part of a production. We could click into this particular speaker, edit it using the pencil icon, and we can change the revenue group here from dry rental to production revenue, let's just say. And it is worth noting here that if you do have hundreds of products that you need to recategorize in terms of revenue groups, we can do a system setup, export, change it on a spreadsheet and re-import that. So if you need any help with that, please just contact our support team on the green help bubble in the bottom right-hand corner, and we will be happy to help. Okay, so that's just taking a look at setting up the revenue groups for our individual products. If we go back into the QuickBooks page, there are a few other settings that we need to look at here. So first of all, we have the default product or service. So say if you create an order with hundreds of items on, and perhaps on that order, you have got a set package price against a group that consists of multiple items. Well, in that group, you could have items with different revenue groups in. So in that instance where you've got a group with multiple products with different revenue groups, the system is going to go back to the default product or service there for us. So this is where we could go into this and just say that if it is a group price or a package price, we're just going to put that into general rental as a revenue grouping. Underneath here, we can also set up our integrations to state, do we want to post zero value items over to QuickBooks, yes or no? So that if that's set to yes, that will help you keep your invoices in QuickBooks nice and concise. Only the chargeable items will go over. From here, we then have the ability to create a linked QuickBooks customer when we create a new customer or supplier or vendor within Current RMS. So if you do want the system to automatically create them in QuickBooks at the same time as Current, that's a great option because it saves you the double entry of data. We've already spoken about revenue group mappings. And then the final thing we need to do here is tax rate mappings. So again, you will need to go ahead and set up your different tax rates in Current RMS if they're not in there already. So there is a previous video to show you how you can do that. And then it's just as simple as mapping the tax rate to the tax rate that exists within QuickBooks here. So what we're going to look at here is putting our tax standard to our 20% rate. Our 5% rate is going to go back against our 5% rate. And then our 0% rate is going to be tax exempt as an example there. So once you are happy with that, we can just scroll down, update the page, and that is our QuickBooks or our accounts package integration setup.